What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Highland for another Formwork Friday. Yes, I know we're not at Julian. And look what we have. We have the pyros. So as you can probably already guess, we're doing forehand formwork. I wanted to go play a somewhat intense course this weekend, but I'm having some issues with my forehand. I wanted to kind of work through a couple things that might make me change. So I have 3 pyros, one for each style of grip that we're gonna do, because this is gonna be completely about forehand grip. I'm gonna try to throw the exact same shots with each grip, and we'll see how they fly differently compared to each other. And the reason we're at Highland is because we're gonna throw some shots here, then we're gonna bounce over to another round, and we're gonna use the tech disc, and hopefully we'll be able to get some better results and better readings. Let's start throwing. Now I do love how perfectly clear this orange one is. The other two you can see through, but they're a little bit milkier. This one you can really see my fingers on the underside. So one of the grips is going to be the traditional, this is what everybody uses as their first forehand. You're just going to put your fingers right there. Basically the pads of your fingers are on the bottom of the flight plate, and then your thumb pinches, and then you throw. All right, so that's grip number 1. Grip number 2 is going to, I call this a stacked grip, and then we're gonna switch to the stacked power grip, where you take your middle finger and you put it pad down, and then you push your pointer finger right on top of it. Right? So the middle finger, the pad, is up against the inside of the rim, right here, and then your pointer finger is right on top of it. And then what I call the forehand power grip is where you take your pointer finger, your middle finger stays pad on the inside of the flight plate or inside the rim, and you take your pointer finger and you pinch it over on top, right? So we'll call grip 1 the stacked grip, grip 2 the stacked power grip, and we'll actually call this one the crossover power grip, because one finger is kind of crossing over the other one. And so since we have all 3, let's see, this is going to be the traditional stacked grip. This is going to be the stacked power grip, and then this one is going to be the crossover power grip. Let's start off on hole number 1. We're gonna throw some forehands. So what I am realizing is that I think I can get more power and pop with the crossover versus the other 2, but I think, because something happened when I was playing a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, I ended up throwing a nose down forehand using that stacked power grip. I don't know if it's because of the stacked power grip or because of how I threw it, so I'm experimenting with the grips to see if any of it turns up to be nose down, or if it was just that throw. This is hole number 3. Basket's 227, so it's going to be a soft flex. Soft because these will actually go too far if I really rip on them. We're going to continue the rotating tee order. So similar to how I do with the disc reviews, we're basically doing grip reviews, right? So, and what I will say is the main difference between kind of your traditional grip and turning your fingers into the rim is, this is traditional grip, Look how flat and palm up my hand is. Versus if I turn my grip, I have a lot more range of motion. Versus here, you can only get so far. If you really, really turn that grip, you have a lot more range of motion, so you have more ability to get power. But some people prefer this for soft, controlled touchy shots, which is totally fine as long as you're confident with that specific throw. Do that throw for the touch shots. But when it comes to power, you need a little bit more range of motion to really get some pop on your disc. Did you see how that didn't look nose up? Like I threw it, there's about the same, it just, normally when I throw a shot like that, it kind of rises because it's nose up. That might have actually been nose down. See the difference? That just sails so much more. I'm not confident with that throw hitting gaps with my palm up. Just, I'm so used to extending those fingers and popping the wrist through that when I have my palm up, I feel like I'm not getting the right release, and then I end up grip locking or early releasing depending on how I'm feeling that day. All right, this is gonna be the turnover forehand hole. It's gonna be easy to get it with the two like turned wrists, but wrist or palm up, I don't know if I can get it to turn over. Like, I think I could turn it, but I don't think it'll hold. These, I have a chance of being able to get enough on. You're basically just kind of ripping over. Stupid vine always gets in the way of that throw. All right, this is the palm up, the one that's probably gonna fail. We're gonna try it. Oh yeah. Yeah. It needs a lot more turn if it's gonna be a good throw. Okay, so I think I am actually getting the stacked power grip. So basically grip number 2, I think I am actually getting it more flat to nose down than I was getting with the other two styles of gripping of the disc. Is that an end all be all for everybody? No, but I have a theory for why that may be, and I'm gonna need this to show you. So we'll talk on the TPAD of 5. So when you grip a disc, it's really easy to demonstrate backhand. If you're power gripping and all your pressure is in the front of your hand, aka this pointer finger, look how flat that disc is. I can throw it the exact same way with the exact same wrist angle, and then just as slowly moving the pressure further back in my hand, it is now very nose up. Pressure in the front, pressure in the back, right? So the further back in your hand, and a good way to demonstrate this is with your thumb, the further up and forward on the disc your thumb is, the more nose up it is. So when we talk about the forehand grip, all right, this is gonna be a little nose up just because it's hard to get the nose down with your palm up because you basically have to point down and away from yourself. While with this throw, I was able to get it a lot flatter because my wrist was actually turned, but my wrist is still a little palm up. See that? And because the pressure here is much closer to where my thumb is. Versus if I go for the stacked power grip, look how much separation there is between where my thumb hits and that middle finger, right? When it's here, it's basically on top of each other, versus there, your thumb is way further back. So it feels like I might be able to get more nose down this way than I would be able to this way. But because I have both fingers on the rim, I'm able to really just smash it. But if you throw a slightly flippier disc and you have nose down control, you're going to get way more distance than if you have nose up smash. All that said, let's go ahead and throw these. We are back at the top of the tee order, so palm up is first, and then let's see if my theory holds true. So there's a tree right there. All right, this should be the more nose down throw. This is the stacked power grip. And now this is the crossover power grip. Let's go to a different hole. I really shanked all three of those. This will probably be our last tee shot. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start back over, palm up, and then stacked power, and then crossover power. And let's see if we can make any consistent releases. I do think that I'm really liking the stacked power grip though. I feel like I'm getting a lot flatter, even a touch nose down sometimes, versus with the other two, I felt like I was just kind of throwing it at the ground. It was going straight up in the air. So let's try to keep these on hyzer though. That was just an air bounce style of throw. That was bad. Wow, I never actually throw forehand on this hole, and I don't know why. Probably because I just feel like I'm pinched. That actually was way closer than I thought they were gonna be. But I still think stacked power has more flat potential, more nose down potential than the crossover power, mainly because of where my thumb is placed and how far away it is from the rest of my fingers. So I think I'm gonna work on the strength of my middle finger a little bit more, and we'll see if I can get a little bit more power and push that way. Because right now the only way I'm getting any kind of power is just cranking it. But I do want you to see this. So there's palm up. This is crossover power, and that is the stacked power grip. Not saying that it's necessarily better, but for this hole today, it would have got the CTP. Let's head over to another round and start throwing the tech disc.
Fun stuff they got.
Who takes me
That lockout D.
It's working. It's working.
Holy cow. I'll watch you run around.
I mean, there's still so much wobble.
Oh yeah. Today, bro. Sure. Yeah.
So, as it turns out, the stacked power grip won out. this is how I get my nose down forehand. Who would have thunk? So, I have a couple of PDs. Just gonna rip them on a forehand and let's see what happens when they fly nose down. Oh, that looks so cool still. It cooks them. Wow. Oh, yes. I hope you guys are enjoying my enjoyment. I finally have figured out how to throw a nose down forehand. It's going to take a lot of practice to get me back to the distance I was throwing before and the amount of power I was able to put into the disc, because basically I've been throwing with one finger for like 3 years, and so this finger is much stronger than the other finger. So I'm gonna keep working on it. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be able to throw 350-foot hyzer forehands, just popping it, not too much effort, because nose down is always gonna go further than nose up, as long as you give it some airspace. If you enjoy content like this, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see something new, make sure to comment that down below. Please make sure to subscribe, helps you guys out, and definitely helps me as well. And until next time, see you out on the course.